Welcome everybody, Mentor Monday. How is everyone doing? I see my friend Rockstar Omar from New Jersey, and thank you, Bansi. And like I said, where did Yvonne go? Yvonne was my first one to come in, but she's not here. Jose, thank you for being here. And Florence, Christine, Odilia, and everybody else that's going to come in a minute. So this is Claudia, and I am in Canada. For those of you that don't know me, I am a mom of an amazing 10-year-old son. I just came from his swimming class, and you know what? This is why I love what I do. Network marketing. There cannot be a best industry for moms with small kids. I quit my job, a full-time corporate job at one of the biggest multinational companies in the world, and it was a beautiful job, everything any woman would want because it was the company for women. So I was so excited to be there for 15 years. Then I had a baby and my whole life changed. And I said, I cannot do this any longer. I love my job, but I love my life and I want to live a plentiful life, seeing my child grow. I had recently gotten divorced, so it was just the right time. And my sister had been inviting me to join the company for about 4 years. And I was telling her that I could not change this great job that I had where I was building towards my pension. And I had a great boss and great coworkers. And it was easy. It was just an easy job for me. I had a company car. I had lots of good benefits. I had already built up to 4 weeks vacation. And my sister kept telling me about this amazing company called For Life. And after a while, so that was not the right time. And she was trying to invite me with the opportunity. Then after that, she started telling me, you really have to try this product because it started doing really good things for her. And and I had really bad allergies, and I also had just a lot of stomach issues because I had a lot of stress through my marriage and my job. That was a very intense job. And she's like, you should try this product. It's amazing. And I never listened to her because I was trying to have a baby. So again, she was, inviting me through another channel. So she had already tried with money and she had already tried with health. And I kept saying no. So for 4 years, I said no to For Life. And wow, this is the proof that there's always a perfect time. Because when I finally said yes, it was when I saw my 2-year-old son. He was growing up raised by my mom, who is the most amazing grandma. But I was not seeing him enough. And I was now divorced. So I was a single mom. And I was like, I don't see this child enough. I'm missing so many moments of his life. So the great job with the great salary, that was not what was filling me anymore. My health was okay, but it was always because I had Mateo. Now I was taking the product. I was a customer for Life, and I started seeing lots of great changes. And the one change that I had not made was that I was 50 pounds heavier. So I was allergy free. The pain from 2 fibromyalgia attacks had, dissipated. Ulcers from my stomach, things that were very bad are gone. And guess what? And I still didn't listen. But when I saw my child and I said, I want to see my child grow, that was the time that I said to my sister, I'm going to jump from being sorry, I missed my words. A full-time job, a full-time employee, and I'm going to be a full-time mom, and I'm going to do For Life, and that's all I'm going to do. And whatever job I can get, it's going to be freelance, whatever income I can get, but my life is going to be to see my child grow and to help other women do the same thing. So this is Claudia. For those of you that didn't know my story, that's a short one. And we're going to start with today's topic. Dr. Gina, today's topic is really good. If you want to help me out, this is, Dr. Gina is really good at this one. That's why. So Omar, thank you so much for inspiring me. I was going to touch on something else, but Omar from New Jersey, he sent a, sorry, he sent a share in one of the groups, and I read it and I thought, how important is this? Like, it's really good. And the message was, and the title was Connection, Not Collection. And I said, I have to touch on this subject, especially because we're getting close to convention and we're getting close to a lot of us trying to hit really those titles that we want before convention. And so the first thing I wanted to remind everybody was about, can anybody tell me what are the 4 simple steps to building a successful business according to Dave Daughtrey, Platinum Dave Daughtrey? He has 4 steps. And I don't know if Jose and Omar, who are starting to come into these meetings, have seen that presentation, but Dave has 4 simple steps. This is all he says. There's 4 simple steps. Bansi, can you tell me? Maybe Omar knows them because Omar's follower of Dave. You can write it. Well, the first step, I'm going to help you with that one. The first step is prepare. So Dave always talks about prepare. Prepare for your business. Read, find 10 things that you like about for life that you can talk about, and they don't have to be the same ones that your upline teaches you. They have to be the ones that you are inspired about. So if you are inspired about product, you can talk about transfer factor. If you're inspired about the opportunity, you talk about that. The second one, can somebody tell me the second one? Is prospect. Once you have some knowledge and you're talking about the things that you love, then you prospect, then you talk to people about everything that you have learned, that you have investigated. So Dave always says, prepare, prospect, and the third one is identify. Once you have a couple of people in your team or a lot of people in your team, you identify those that are going to be with you in the long run, the ones that are going to run the race with you, and you start working with them. And then Dave's 4th step, which he actually says this is really important. Once you have identified, also Dave teaches us about colors: yellow, green, red, blue. And that once you identify the person, you can also learn what is important for that person. And that's what I love. This training that Dave does is so simple. I can show you guys in a minute for those of you that want to see those slides. But the last one is solidify. And solidify for Dave Daughtrey is the most important thing. Once you have identified and you know the needs of your people, you are able to solidify that relationship. And then it does not become a collection of people, but it's a connection between the two of you. Then you become a family. It doesn't necessarily have to be with your uplines and downlines. It can be with cross lines. Omar and I, we know each other for a few years. Bansi and I know each other for a couple of years, and they're in different countries, but I have a connection. Dr. Gina and I know each other. We shared a fun moment, so we have always that connection. So what is the important thing about connection in MLM? So my first question to you that I want you to ponder on is, I've been in network marketing, by the way, for 22 years. So I was, I think half of the people in this meeting know that I was in the company, like I said, company for women, Avon. Avon is a beauty company. It's the company that has been in business for over 135 years. And I was a recruiter and I was a manager, but it was a numbers game. As a manager, I was not a recruiter. I was not a leader. I was part of the corporate world, and in the corporate world, all they needed the numbers. So it was a different life, and that's why I wanted to jump into the other side and have my own team, because I had a team of people, but they were the company's team. So where does this story that I'm telling you become very important? Even then, I remember that they always taught me that it's a numbers game. So we get taught, and this was part of what the article said, that's why it clicked me, that it's a numbers game. MLM, you have two things. You either know how to do it or you get the skill. So you have a lot of people that you talk to, and as you get more skilled, then you can talk to less people because you are able to recruit faster or transform those people into team members. So I stayed thinking, is it really a numbers game? Because a numbers game, and this is what was happening in my previous life, and I promised myself that I would not leave my team the same way. A numbers game is where people come in and out as a place with a revolving door. So if you are in a recruiting mode and you're like, I gotta hit title, I need to get that builder bonus, I want to get the double, I only have 1 more month to do it, I'm going to recruit, then you really have lost the essence of what is happening. Because to try and reach the bonus is great, you become an inspiration, you get cash in your bank and all of that, right? But what happens is if you are recruiting for the sake of earning a bonus, which again, I want everybody, just like we interviewed Biona to get a $1,600 bonus. I want that bonus. But if you are recruiting for the sake of recruiting and earning bonuses and also helping your people earn bonuses, but you have lost track that MLM is built on relationships, then you'll have people coming out of your revolving door. They'll come in the front door and out the back door, in the front door, out the back door. And then you're thinking, oh, but I had so much hope for that person, but I know she can be like so good. Why did she leave? Most of the time, when you are in recruiting mode, I want you to test yourself. And I've done this over and over. Once you find somebody that says, oh, I'm not interested, you're asking them to join your team, you have the greatest opportunity for them. And if you ask them, why not? They'll say, I'm not interested, or, maybe another time. And you say, okay, that's fine. But sometimes we leave it at that. I invite you to ask them, why not? And you will find, and I can bet you on this one, you will find that a lot of the answers are that they have already been in a company and that they have left that company because they did not have a relationship with their upline. So if you do not create a relationship, what will happen is that people will leave, and they will leave with an empty heart. They will feel that you were using them. They will feel that you only wanted to earn their 25%. They will feel that they were simply a number to you. And I've been there because I was a manager. It was really not a team. I had to meet numbers. And that's why I really left the job. I wanted time with my child, but I said, I don't think I can do this anymore. All I can do is become a recruiter. I was a top recruiter for that company. And I said, all I meet is numbers. You don't do numbers, you do people. We move people. We don't move just numbers. And so where I want to concentrate today is in point 3 and 4 that Dave talks about, which are very important because we're going to talk about the colors. So I'm going to share with you just really quickly, again, that slide. If you allow me for 1 second here, let me find the slide. Okay. And so if you want to comment in the chat box, or if you want to say something, something's coming to you. And here's this part. So I've done this presentation before, so I'm not going to go through the whole presentation. I just want to show you 3 and 4, because Dave's system is very simple. And all we need sometimes is a quick reminder. And Omar inspired me today for this. Thank you, buddy. Okay, that thing is loading. And Bansi, can you confirm that you're seeing my screen, please, or anybody?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Perfect. So I'm just going to go down a little bit on these slides. Just you guys can browse them while I get to the one I want to get to. Okay, this is Dave's presentation. You can find this in his website. Okay, so here it is. So these are the 4 simple steps. These are Dave's words. When I prepared this presentation, it was as if Dave was talking. So by the way, I have a spelling mistake on the last word. So it says identify and solidify. That's where I have the mistake. I have to correct it. So here is prepare. So it just says about, preparing yourself and learning 10 things that you love, just you love about for life. Then, oh my gosh, the products and the compensation plan, prospect. So we start talking to people, we start getting customers, we start, telling our story, and here it is. So I'm just going to go back here to this point where Dave is always talking about when you're presenting to an individual or a group of people, it is important to identify. Why do I want to touch on this? Because a lot of the times we forget that the relationship it's like a marriage. When you know what your husband or your wife likes, then you're able to please and make that person happy. Because if that person likes to receive gifts, then you give her gifts. And if that person likes to receive time, then you spend time. So this is the same thing when you are creating a relationship with your new member. Identifying what color they are is very important. Why is this not moving? 1 second. Okay. So green is knowledge, yellow is emotion, blue is relationship, and red is a structure. So I want you to look at your team, think about it for now, and see if you know what color are your team members, and are you talking the same language with your team members? So the team members that will be green, or the prospect that will be green, is somebody that makes decisions with knowledge, not emotion. If you get very emotional with these people, they're thinking, Claudia does not understand me. Claudia does not speak my language, and they will leave. They will not know this. They will leave because they simply don't have the connection with you. And you can say you have the best product and the best company and the best compensation plan. But this is not just about that. This is about the relationship and the partnership that you will have with them. Dave had it with Jeff Algebers. Herminio Nevares had it with Juan Rosado. And every single platinum will have their right wingman where they knew everything. You have heard the stories where Juan Rosado and Herminio and Esdras Cabrera would go and share the same bottle of Coke with one straw because they didn't even have enough money. And they have a lot of stories like this. So let's continue with green. Green does not care about emotions. They want facts. They ask questions. They will want to know everything about everything. Be patient with these people. Your knowledge and your ability to share that knowledge will be critical to these type of people. Your green people, when they're in your team, they're going to want to make sure that you give them the information. When is the meeting? At what time is the meeting? And if it's in this country, like for example, I'm doing this meeting at 1 p.m., it's 8 p.m. in Kenya, because I know that most of the people in this meeting are from Africa. I make it a point to make the flyer with the Africa time and to put it in the African groups. So we have a relationship. Once these type of people realize that you know what you're talking about, they will join you. And if they're a team member, they will stay with you. They are comfortable with you. They know you're knowledgeable. They know you read. They know you know when the meetings are. They can trust that you're leading the team with knowledge. Green people take longer to make decisions when they're joining, but once they do, they are ready. They have done their research. So I want you to think of your team members. That this is more Mentor Mondays is more for leaders. So as a leader, I want you to think of your green people. Are you giving your green people the information that they need, or are you just letting the, oh, you know what? And again, I'm going to just put Bansi as an example. Oh, that Bansi, she's very intelligent. She probably knows when the meeting is. Oh, that Omar, he's into everything. Omar knows everything. Can you imagine how would they feel if, because you think they are maybe more intelligent than you or smarter than you, and that it's almost like a compliment. You're like, oh, Bansi, she's like so good in administration. Of course she knows when the meetings are. How does she feel if I don't share with her something special? then that is my point. You have to know that they like information. A new article comes out, a new award that Avon won. You want to make sure you write them and you say, hey, did you see that we won this new award? Did you check out the last blog? Now I want you to think of your yellow team members. Let's talk about your yellow team members. How do you create a deeper connection with your team members? And again, remember, this is for prospecting new people, but today I want to focus on your people that you already have, maybe the ones that have left this year or that have left in the past. Can you recover them by knowing their language? So yellow people are the opposite of green. They make decisions on emotion. This is where your ability to share stories will be important. Yellow people love to hear success stories about for life, products, and opportunity. Don't get technical with yellow people. Always keep everything simple and talk about benefits. You need to share with them how they're going to help many people change many lives. So you see the difference when you have a green and you're telling them a lot of stories, you're not speaking their language. When you have a yellow and you're telling them a lot of numbers, you're not speaking their language. So if I'm making my point, you might be already you may have already identified some people that you said, oh my gosh, all I kept telling her was my testimonial and the testimonials of people. Or in the yellow case, all you have been telling this person is about how important it is that this month you can earn double with the builder bonus. One thing is to communicate new things. Another thing is to focus so much on it that you lose your way into the language of that person. That person says, I don't really care. I'm not in this for only money. I'm in this because I can save lives. I'm in this because I have a life testimonial that I want to share. I want to help people. So I want you to think for a second, and if you have a pen, write down all of your team people and start putting the color right beside them. Let's talk about blue. Omar, Serrano, you and I, buddy, we are deep blue. These type of people are connectors. They're about relationship. If they like you, they will buy from you. If they trust you, they will join. Focus on developing a strong friendship and relationship with the blues. You will know that blue because they are social. Most of the time we are loud. We love being everywhere. We love being with friends. We talk a lot. Try not to interrupt the blues when you are in prospecting mode or when you are in coaching mode, because they need to share their opinions. So when you're training a blue, you don't want to teach. You leave that for the green. You don't want to share. You leave that as stories. You leave that for the yellow. When you're training a blue, you tell them, hey, buddy, how was your week? Tell me what was the most exciting thing that happened to you with For Life. So when you're with a blue, it's all about them. And all you want to do is ask them what they have been doing, how they have been feeling, who have they been talking to, why do they love For Life? And so it's very simple. Just use WH system. Ask them a lot of questions. They will feel that you are listening to them. They will feel that you care. That's blue. I'm blue. Don't fill me with a lot of numbers. Don't talk to me a lot about how much money I can make. I want to make money. Trust me. But if you tell me I'm going to see you all in convention and get to give you a big hug and we're going to get to have some meals together, I want to be in this company. And this is what For Life has provided for me. I have made great friends. I have the most amazing uplines. I have great cross lines, and I can't wait to see you all in convention. Oh, okay. If you made a list of your team members and you're identifying which one is what, and you have a red one, these are very structured people. These are your top level executives and CEOs. They want to be punctual. They want to be precise. Your message needs to be precise. You need to be respectful with their time. If you have a red, and you told them that you will meet up at a certain time and you did not make it, you may have already lost their trust and respect, and they might leave your team. And a lot of the people may have left your team because you were late at a meeting. Does it mean that you can never not be late? No, but you have to at least identify that if they were red and you were late for a training, unprepared, not respectful of their situation, by announcing, that might be the reason why you are clashing with them all the time. Red people can be complicated, sometimes because they don't like to think out of the box. Once they understand what they need to do and they have a plan of action, they will use their experience, their leadership to influence others to join them. Red people are usually very influential. Dave always says that David Lisenby is a very tough red. He makes things happen, but you do not mess with this man's time. If you have great people, this is where sometimes we just keep losing and wasting our time because they're negative. They're negative with themselves, they're negative with their team. They wake up and they're in a negative mood. You know what? You may want to think about it 2 times if you're trying to recruit or keep one of these. They're dream stealers. They wake up and they're like, I don't really know about For Life. I don't know if I like it. I don't know about this. I don't know about that. Did you hear what happened? And they gossip. So you know what? There's a lot of people out there in the world. Dave always says, why get stuck with red? Rainbow, this is what we are. At For Life, when you are already a leader that had been, you have been for a while in For Life, you want to make sure that you have become a rainbow. A rainbow adapts to every color and knows their team colors. You want to be a mirror. You want to know how to talk to each one of them. Now, remember, there's always a primary color and a secondary. So you can have a blue that likes numbers, or you can have a yellow that likes stories and emotions, that also is very cheerful. But it's the leading language that will help you lead into creating a good relationship. And remember that 80% of the time, you will spend with only 20% of your people. So today's meeting, connection, not collection, is number 4. It's solidified. So this is being involved with your people. Again, from the words of my great mentor, you stay involved. Their team does not have a responsibility to call the leader. This is a very wrong concept. And sometimes people teach it that way. Well, if the person would be interested, they would call me. Dave always says, upline serves downline. It is not the other way around. This is a very simple business. Upline serves downline. I've always been taught this by Dave. So it's not about, well, if she really wanted it, she would call me. Oh, but she knows I'm there for her. These are sentences that should never come out of your mouth. If you have been treating your team like this, you may have now the reason why your team is crumbling. You're the one that needs to call your team. You put it in your action plan. Every single week, you got to be calling every single one of your leaders. And it better not be on the 20th to get that loyalty order. Involvement creates commitment. How much have you been involving your team into doing something with you? And it can be, why don't we do a call together? Why don't we go have a coffee? It doesn't have to do with business. It has to do with being involved with your team. How is your child? Know the names of your leader's family. No, I have very bad memory, so I write it all. But it is not only about your team, it's your cross lines. This is what will leave you full. Your cup will be full when you have good relationships. I'll give you an example. This morning, I was writing, and since this weekend, I have been writing with one of my cross lines, Dr. Fernandez from Belgium. Dr. Fernandez and I have a really good relationship, and I don't treat him like well because he's a doctor and I want to get stuff from him. we are friends. So when you have people in your organization that are not your team members, you can be your cross lines, and you're not trying to get anything from them. You know their names, you know what they're going through. I talked all weekend with Dr. Fernandez. He's my cross line. And he just sent me a picture of himself with his 8-year-old. And I sent him a picture of myself with my 10-year-old. And we have a relationship. So I was telling my mother knows I'm very big in relationships, that I'm very happy that I have friends all around the world. Can you say the same thing? Can you say that through For Life, you have a friend, and when you call a friend, you mean, I don't only know things about For Life, like her title or what was the last sale that they made, but I know what they were going through this weekend. And not only because Facebook showed it to you. You cannot ask someone to do something that you're not willing to do. Why? Why would someone be like, you're the one that needs to lead. You are the one that needs to step on the moving sand before you ask your team to do it. Teach your people to attend every meeting, every rally, every event, every convention. And again, lead by example. These events will be life-changing, and you don't know which one is the one where you're going to have a turnaround to what you're looking for. Take the time to meet your team members at least once a month. Do a leadership meeting. If your team is big, start pairing them up, putting them together, letting them meet each other. So now we have so many Zoom and WhatsApp calls. Set up goals together, but especially this one, Dave says, is so important. If you know what the goal is, you can celebrate it together. Do you send her a little message? Do you send him a congratulation message? Because once you know that they have met the goal, and the goal, remember, make it a small goal. It doesn't have to be reach presidential like I want to do it. I just want really right now to create one builder. This is my goal for this month. So if I create a builder and my upline knows when I get the builder, then that person can call me, congratulate me. Now, the important thing also is that if you're not receiving this from your upline, then you can create a partner. I do this a lot with Jane Michael, which I saw earlier come in. I'm not sure if he's still in the room, but I also have it in Spanish with my friend Marcela. And I don't necessarily do it with my upline, but I do it with my cross lines. And so Marcela and we send each other every month where we finished. And we always say, wow, I was just short this, but I know next time I'm going to make it. And we help each other. So find a good partner that you can set up goals together. Michael and I used to do it in our English because Marcela's in Spanish, but I'm going to find somebody in English. Maybe I'll get Omar to be my partner now. I don't know if Jay Michael's still in the room. And the next thing is discuss how to overcome the challenges together. Do you see? Dave says the key word is together. Keep your relationships strong with your leaders. Again, I just want to finish today by saying it is not a numbers game. Of course, you can have a lot of numbers, but this is not about numbers. It's about relationships. Let's read the last words that Dave says in this presentation. It's a simple, proven plan, and he has done it during the network marketing career. He does it every day. And he says, I continue to learn new things and apply it in my business. Every time I meet a new person, I enjoy the challenge of identifying their color and using my skills to see if I can influence them to join me in my business, or at least try the For Life products. Develop the habit of sharing your For Life story with every opportunity that arises. In the end, if you don't share the For Life story, someone else will. So that is just going to stop that share, prepare, prospect, identify and solidify, and declare yourself. So again, I've done that presentation several times. Omar left. So here's the thing. If you make the list and you have your list of all your team members and you have the list of all your potential people that you're working on, do you know their color? Can you identify it? And if you cannot identify it, you have not had enough conversations with this person. If you hadn't had enough conversations, there's not a relationship. And people don't join because it's a great company with a great product. People will join because they know they have a great partner in you. So I'll give you an example. Dr. Regina, we all adore Dr. Regina. He's a green. This man is like a doctor. So he is facts. He knows what he's talking about. He goes to a presentation. There's no doubt in his mind. Now, the other thing is a coach. And when he's coaching, again, great inspiration, great motivation. So I want to be part of Dr. Regina's team, right? But what if, and again, because Dr. Regina is a great example of this, what if Dr. Regina never cared about his people? I mean, he was just only really good at presenting and really good at giving information. But I know for a fact that Dr. Regina and Jesse, both of them are really good about solidifying the relationship. And I can assure you that Dr. Regina has made sure that many of you receive a call, an email, a WhatsApp message. Jesse makes those ladies breakfast. Jesse makes those things where you guys put the t-shirt on and go dance and everything. And so this is why great leaders grow. This is why Dr. Regina and Jesse are such great leaders to the Africa team. So my friends, are you doing the same with those that are coming? Are you duplicating Dr. Regina and Jesse's example? I'm sure you are, but if you're not, again, make sure that you simply follow the system. The system is simple. So that's what I have on for today. I want to see if anybody has any comments. What do you think about this? Have you identified at least one person that you thought was another color and you're like, oh, maybe I'm telling them too many numbers and I'm not really telling her a story, or maybe I'm just being boring by telling her a lot of numbers and I'm not showing her the other fun things that they can do with for life. Have you identified somebody? Do you want to give the group an example? Janet Bacasa, are you free to talk? Did we choose Janet last time to do the exercise? I think we did. I don't know if Janet is free to talk. Let's talk to Margaret in Bawe. Margaret. In Botswana. Margaret. Don't be shy. I don't want to choose Bansi because I always choose Bansi. Who wants to talk? Beatrice Natia. I don't think I've ever heard Beatrice talk. Beatrice, do you want to share? Where did Beatrice go? I think Beatrice, everybody's so shy in this meeting with me. I don't know why. Michael, are you there? Oh, there's Bansi. Okay, Bansi's going to talk. Oh, you took the mic off, Bansi. Now I chose you. Bansi.
Thank you so much, Claudia, for that sharing. I mean, I can really identify with those colors. And I know there's the functional part of those colors and the dysfunctional part of those colors. And we really have to try to be the functional part of those colors so that we are able to relate with people. Personally, I've had a downline that recently, surely I just knew that I realized, okay, this one is blue. I am not anything near blue. So now I know how to deal with her and I see her growing because I've identified who she is. So I'm trying, since I gained this knowledge, to know who, what color my team is, so that I'm also able to help them depending on where they are. But a question for you, Claudia. Somebody like me who's so little blue in me, how do you deal with a blue?
What color do you identify yourself as?
I'm actually a green.
You're green?
Some think I'm red, but I think I'm green.
I think you would be because of the career path that you chose. So a lot of the times, you're probably very disciplined just to, get through law school, read, you just focus. I could never be a lawyer because I could never focus on reading a whole book. And you have to read like 10. So I would agree that you most likely lawyers, doctors, people that have to go very deep into studying, they're green and they're, like you said, a little bit of red. So the thing is, Bansi, that you have been slowly turning into a blue. And so what happens is that when you became a motivational coach, your your primary was very strong, which was the red and the green, and you felt a responsibility with your career, your people, but you have softened through the years, and through the years with For Life, the fact that you can inspire people has made you, it's like a circle. And so because the primaries were green and red, and the blue and yellow were so little, but what has been happening is that the service in you has been coming out, and it's not service as I am in law, I want to help people. It is service as I want to see people grow. And it's become that now your blue is also widening because you want to be part of fun things, and you're like, wow, this new rediscovered thing where I don't have to dress up like this, I don't have to go to like court and law offices, and now you're liberating yourself. So dealing with somebody like you, and I don't know your story, or I don't remember because you have told it, but I'm sure that Jessie, no, it wasn't Jessie who recruited you. She knew that Bansi was a person that would be interested in numbers. And so I am almost sure that the person that recruited somebody like Bansi would have been very prepared, would have been on time, would have been they probably met you at a place that was not a park. It would have been like a like you have to even know where you're going to have this meeting with people, not a restaurant, because it can be noisy or loud. Like you want to be able to focus in the presentation that they're giving you. So to look for somebody and be able to get a guest from Bansi, probably I would have invited Bansi to a nice, almost fancy place, whatever I could afford, but not like a cheap place. And I want to show her that I believe in the numbers and I believe in the compensation plan of this company. And I would have focused on really showing you numbers, like look at this compensation plan, look at this builder bonus that we have for this month. And the other thing is look at the strength of the company. Like somebody like Bansi would have not joined a company that is very new, like 5 years or less, because that's not safety. And a green person they don't play with the stocks. Like they wouldn't place a big amount of money on a new company. Like when you're doing stocks, you would place a fair amount in a solid company. So that's why for Bansi, a company that had been 20 years in business, that had positive sales. So I would focus on things like, wow, Bansi, you know what? We've been over 23 years in business. And can you believe that we have had only positive sales every single year? Bansi, and I know you care about your children, and can you imagine that this can be a business that you can inherit to your children and grandchildren? So you see, this gives me a wide view of this is probably things that Bansi would want to hear. And so I would prepare very well. And again, I would invite her to a place that is not very noisy, because this person is going to want to focus. And this person doesn't give an answer quickly. You're going to take the information home. You're going to read it and read it again. You're going to check you probably went home and took like, I don't know, a week or months to decide and say yes. And so Bansi, did it happen this way? Tell me how was it?
Actually, my upline is Viona, not Jacinta.
It was Viona. Yeah, that's what she said.
The new president.
Yes, she said that last week.
She actually, I didn't decide immediately. I was like, okay, I'll think about it. I'll check the information. But she decided just to put me in the system.
Oh, she's like, I know my friend. She's going to love it. Well,
but I
she put you in the system, but you stayed.
After a while.
It took a while, yeah, because but you stayed. It doesn't matter. That's what I said. It's the revolving door, but you didn't leave, and you're a diamond leader. So she knew that eventually you would see the numbers and that you would see the solidity of the company, because a green person will see solidity in the company. You will say, I'm putting my time in the right place, So that's really it's very interesting. Tell me, Michael, you were going to talk about something. What do you think? Bansi, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did, Claudia.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Bansi and Claudia and everybody else. This training, Dave showed me this training. Gosh, this is like deja vu. I love this training, Claudia. Gosh, I think it was probably 5 or 6 years ago. He did this training one time, and it was really an eye opener for me. And so I started studying the color guides, and I mean, people all over the world. I just love people, and learning where their characters and their colors and what started and how that was created. And I don't know if we're born at these colors or it's our experiences in life that would become these colors. I've been a red for most of my life. I think as I've aged now into my senior years, into my 70s, I'm becoming a pale red. I don't know, or a little bit more relaxed. I used to be go, 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 go. And when I was in the restaurant industry, I mean, it was go, 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 making 1,000 decisions a day from sunrise to sunset, and loving it, by the way. But colors are so important, I think, in learning. You're right. You need to have the conversations, though. Some of my newer relationships that I've met here online and here in Tyler, Texas, on a personal basis, whether it be at church or the coffee shop, it takes some time, and it's asking questions and listening, and asking them the questions and really getting down and knowing them, and remembering that. And how do you remember that? You need and write it down. I choose not to keep it in my head at this age. I tend to put it into one of my one of my apps that helps manage my relationships, and I can remember things about people. But it's so key to our industry that we've chosen in network marketing. It's networking. That's what we do, is network. And the more we know about each other and care about each other and understand where they're coming from and their colors and their desires and how you talk to them, you're absolutely right. Whatever color you are, I talk to a yellow different than I talk to a blue. I mean, I understand now, particularly once I learned that. And this is one training I think we should do at least once a year, if not more. And if you have new people coming into your organization, this is a training you should share with them and ask them, do they know what their color is? There's actually some tests that you can take to find out your color. And I don't know how updated they are, but this is a great training. I love this training. I always have loved this training, Dave. You did a great job on it, Claudia. Fantastic job on it. And yeah, and I do remember you and I doing that end of the month or beginning of the month, reflecting. How was it? Where do we go? We used to do so many, you and I building together back in the day. But that is a work. Find somebody in your relationships that you want to work with and mentor, and have them hold you accountable. You hold them accountable, and you agree on when to talk and agree to be accountable, and it'll really help you whatever you're working on. So, and I also agree, one thing you said, and I really want to highlight, where you are today in your organization is important to understand. If you're an affiliate, and I believe you use in For Life right now, what you really want to work on is what you said, Claudia, is building some builders, or taking some of your builders to Builder Elite. You're an affiliate. That's what you want to work on. Once you become a Builder Elite yourself, then you want to continue to build more Builder Elites until you come to diamonds. Once you're diamonds, now you want to take your Builder Elites and help them go up to diamond. But understand the level you're at and that what you're trying to do. If you're not a presidential, don't try to build diamonds. If you're a diamond, you need to help build diamonds because you've learned how to build diamonds. If you're Builder Elite, you know how to do that because you have done it. So understand the level you are. There's no right or wrong. New affiliates, whether you're in for 1 month, 2 months, or a year or 2 years, wherever your level is, look at the level right below you and find those folks to help rise up to their next level, Builder to Builder Elite, or an affiliate to Builder. And that's the key. And I think in our organization, in this company right now, they put these programs together for builder bonuses and things. But we're all about building builders. And we build builders every single day. And that's who you talk to. Know their color and how they want to build. Ask them what they want to do and continue to help them build. And the more people that you help reach their goals, the more you're going to reach your goals. So that's my part today. It's good to see everybody. We're halfway through the month, guys. I can't believe for us, Judy and I, August has just been a whirlwind month, and we've got a lot, but we've still got 2 weeks to finish in this month. But still, in our country, it's free shipping, free enroll. I mean, it's all kind. We got so many. I can't even keep track of all the things they've offered us this month.
I know.
And also this month, guys, I would highly recommend, and I think we're all leaders on here, we're probably already doing this. Their month of education at corporate has been phenomenal. It's they just post every Monday. I just saw this week's schedule. I think you posted it, Claudia.
What time are they, Michael?
It's 1 p.m. Mountain Time live on their Facebook USA page. They go live, Nathan and Jade and their guests. But that's, however, they have also created a YouTube channel for any of those that are not on Facebook at all. And they do download upload all their trainings onto YouTube actually that afternoon. So you can go back to last Friday's and find it on YouTube right now and share it with people that don't have a Facebook. So. But it's some great training. I love Dr. Rob Robinson's, not doctor, but Rob Robinson's interview on Friday. Had the pleasure of meeting him in Tennessee. I worked with him for a few months, a few years ago when we were, and he's a dynamic. That's a great, if you didn't see that interview, go back and watch that interview. It's a fantastic interview.
It is.
I said a lot today. I might jump off of here for right now. In fact, I've got to get ready for a meeting here in about 5 minutes. Thank you, Michael. Great to see everyone. Love all of you. God bless you all. Judy says.
We love you, Michael. So just to finish, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Bansi. I put the code to, I can't really find, I just found this one just to show you that if there's a whole book about color coding. And so it says the color code, a new way to see yourself. So even if you just write, I know Dr. Regina always says, read at least one book a month. Taylor Hartman, he is a PhD, and I don't know if they've got it from here, but there's other books that have to do with the color coding. So if you want to deepen on this, discover your true colors with the color code and unlock your potential for success at work and home. So this is one of the books, and he has more on color coding. But the other thing I added in that chat before I close it, if you want to click the link, and why I also kind of got inspired to talk about this topic, try to move this here. 1 second, I'm just going to turn this off. I think you guys have that link now. Was no, it's not here. 1 second, I put a link, and this weekend I got an opportunity to do, if you haven't done it, I also recommend this book. It's again about language. And I don't know if you have done or know this book. It's actually a quiz as well. It's called The 5 Love Languages. So what I did was I made the quiz with my kids. You can do this with your partner or with a friend or with your team. And it's a little bit about the same conversation, which is, do you know the 5 love languages? And this is a very big book here in North America. I don't know if in the other side, but Gary Chapman has written many books about this. But the thing is, you can actually do a quiz. And if you do a quiz, you can actually do it with your teams as well. And it's a little bit of the same thing, which is gifts, words of affirmation, physical touch, time or service, the language of the other person. So once you know yours, because I think that one of the biggest problems is that we don't know our own love language. And so by not knowing ours, we feel incomplete if the other person is not giving it to us. So I believe that not only with the colors, but deepening into, is your team member somebody that needs the words of affirmation? And with physical touch, is a little bit more into relationships. With a child is like, do you hug them? And with a partner, like, do you hold their hand, right? Things like that. So that one might not apply too much, but it'll help you understand if somebody's gift is, if somebody's language is quality time, and you keep giving them gifts, again, in a environment of friendship, you give gifts to this person and they want time, then you're not talking their love language. So again, I just think it's a great opportunity to deepen into the true language of a relationship. And so if you haven't read that book and done that quiz, I recommend it. I just found out that my child's love language is gifts, and I always thought it was time. So it's interesting because we did it 2 times and it kept, and he's 10, so it might change. I'm not sure if it changes, but please make sure that you understand the language of the person that you are starting this relationship with, because remember that this relationship is going to be for a long, long time. Thank you, everybody. Let's go to our next meetings or trainings or recruiting times, and we love you. Thank you so much for being here, and goodbye. Tomorrow, Health Talk with Dr. Regina, same time, different code. Don't forget. Now, grow deeper into your business with Dave on Wednesdays. We have Talk with the Coach with Dr. Regina Thursdays. Now we have the week full. Now we have Dave back. So we have Wednesday trainings with Dave every Wednesday. J. Michael, I don't know if you noticed, but it's open to everybody. Even though he focuses on African numbers and African teams, he did say it's for everyone. So every Wednesday training with Dave Daughtrey, different time, different code. So make sure you go to the calendar for that, okay? Thank you very much, everybody, and we love you. Bye-bye. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Claudia.
Bye, Rancy. Thank you.